Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zul Hakim bin Hussein. I'm from CIV301. So today I will present my part for CIV301, which is Politics and World Civilization. So hopefully everyone will enjoy my presentation. Thank you. So the task given was about the contrast between three countries, where we chose Liberia as an undeveloped country, New Zealand as a developed country, and Brunei as a developing country. These three countries have their own specialties and attractiveness. We choose these three countries to be compared in this task to see the difference about how the country deal with their citizens.
So next, the objective of our research, it is to study the history and background of three countries, which are Libya, Brunei, and also New Zealand, and also to have the understanding of the current issues in the countries, which are the conflict and peace, human development index, human rights, and lastly environmental issues.
Okay, now I will explain about the background of these three countries. The first one is Liberia. So, Liberia has the highest population from New Zealand and Brunei. And Liberia is a country in West Africa which was founded by free people of color from the United States. The American Colonization Society (ACS) supported and organized the immigration of free people of color and later former slaves. Liberia is extremely undeveloped, generally due to the First Liberian Civil War from 1989 until 1996. The second one is Brunei. So, Brunei gained its independence from the United Kingdom on 1st January 1984, compared to New Zealand that has no fixed date of independence from the United Kingdom, and the concept of a National Independence Day doesn't exist in New Zealand. So, Brunei has the second highest human development index among the Southeast Asian nations after Singapore, and is classified as a developed country. So, the last one is New Zealand. New Zealand is more large country than Liberia and Brunei, while Liberia has the highest population from New Zealand and Brunei. New Zealand was actually discovered around the year of 1250 until 1300 by a group of Polynesian people, a native to islands all around Pacific Ocean in Oceanic region.
Hi, my name is Radin Imbariza bin Muhammad. I'm from CIV301. Today I will be presenting my part in this assignment, which is conflict and peace between these three countries.
In this slide, I will explaining the conflict throughout the years between these three countries. Based on the table shown in this slide, on Friday in 15 March 2019, a mass shooting at the Christchurch Mosque has happening at New Zealand. It caused 49 lives and 40 injured of Muslims. This is happening because of radical thinking of the shooter itself. Moving on, in Brunei, they doesn't have a major conflict for a long time. The only major conflict that occurred in Brunei is Brunei Revolt in 1962. It's a very long time conflict, but this is the only conflict that happened in Brunei. This conflict has caused casualty of 46 people were killed and 3,400 have been captured. The reason Brunei doesn't have any major conflict because they have a stable economy and stable politics. In Libya, there's a lot of conflict because their country have a war right now, but we focus on the latest one, which is Libya Migrant Detention Center. This detention center was targeted by an airstrike and killing 53 people, and including 6 children. In the term of peace, New Zealand is holding the strongest spot on the IGP, which is the Global Peace Index. New Zealand was placed in the second place of the safetiest country on the planet. Meanwhile, Libya was on the place of 156 on IGP. This is because there have been a civil war and has been disputed with other nations. Libya was battled with high prison rate, suicide, violent offences, the effect of insurgent and internal war. Lastly, Brunei was not rated in the IGP as Brunei is not doing the IGP in their own country.
So, what is Human Development Index? Human Development Index is a statistical modeling used to assess a country's overall achievement in its social and economic aspects. The components of a country's Human Development Index are focused on safe living, educational awareness, and a living wage standard. It was developed to underline that perhaps the key criteria for determining national progress should be their skills, not just academic growth. According to the table that have been collected by UNDP, which is 2019, for those three countries, shown that New Zealand indexes represent 0.921, followed by Brunei 0.845, which is ranked number 43 in the world's position. Human Development Index value between New Zealand and Brunei were different, 0.076. Next, I'm going to talk about the Human Development Index of Life Expectancy. So here, table 4 shows for these three nations, the aspect that determines the HDI rank is first, health, which is life expectancy at birth. Among other countries, New Zealand have the highest 82-year health index and Brunei at 75 years old. Meanwhile, Libya at 72 years old is the lowest of these three countries. This is demonstrating that every country we choose has a safe life. Life expectancy improvements at birth can be attributed to increasing living standards, improved lifestyle, better education, and expanded access to quality health services. Table 5 shows the HDI of education between 1990 to 2018 of these three countries. Based on the table, the index rate of New Zealand is 18.8 years for the Human Growth Index of Education, followed by Brunei 40.4 years, has a small gap relative to the index rate of Libya of 12.8 years. This indicates that there is good education in New Zealand and Brunei relative to Libya. These three countries also have a strong index of education for human growth. This is because more people are seeking higher educational levels. Okay, next, table 6 shows the Human Development Index of GNI 1990 to 2018 of these three countries. Based on the table, it shows that Brunei gross national income GNI per capita is the highest among the other countries, but decreased from 85,147 to 76,389 by around 10% between 1990 and 2018. Meanwhile, with 35,108 in 2018, New Zealand expanded by 35% from 23,099 in 1990. Lastly, Libya with 11,685 in 2018 decreased from 20,344 in 1990 by around 43%.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adiba Ashaira binti Zanuddin from CT203. I will start present to you my part for CIV301 assignment. I hope you will enjoy my presentation.
Next, we will discuss about human rights. Human right refers to the equality in appeal to inherent of all human beings without discrimination, regardless of different race, nationality, ethnic, color, religion, language, and any other status. Humans should have an empathy to others, and laws should be implemented to respect the human rights of others, and it is generally considered that they should not be crossed, except as a result of due process based on specific circumstances. For example, they have killed someone or hurt others and need to be punished for that. The table have shown some of the major issues happen in the three countries. One of the issue is in Liberia, which is violence against women. There are so many issues in violence against women, like marriage at young age, sexual harassment in women, rape issue, and more than that happen. Although there are various crimes, not many serious actions are taken and not all punishment emphasized. As for Brunei, there are no issue regarding that, but in New Zealand, there was a case on domestic violence against women. There are hottest issue happen in Brunei, which is United Nations critiques Brunei's Islamic law. This started when Brunei announced that they will apply a new Sharia penal code that contains punishment including death by stoning, amputation, and raping. Death by stoning punishment apply for crime of sex outside marriage and anal sex, while amputation of limbs is for stealing, and 40 lashes with a whip for lesbian sex, another punishment. Other than that, there are also issues regarding the condition in Liberia prisons. The condition was harsh and at times it can threatening life due to overcrowding, failing infrastructure, and inadequate medical care. The food also did not enough to feed all the prisoners properly. The last issue is about privacy right. Between these three countries, only New Zealand have privacy right issue. New Zealand government should not be allowed to invade the personal privacy right of their citizens, even in the name of official surveillance. Every important and sensitive information should not be invaded by any person other than the owner. This is privacy right for an individual human being. Now I will explain about environmental issue. Environmental issues are harmful effects of human activity on the biophysical environment. Environmental conservation is a process of protecting the natural environment for the benefit of both the environment and human. The table have shown the major issue of environmental issue between Liberia, Brunei, and New Zealand. Okay, the first issue that happened is deforestation. In Liberia, in New Zealand, the issue is much bigger than in Brunei. It is because Brunei has claimed that the country still has 78% green cover in 2016. Liberia comprised a large portion of the remaining rainforest in West Africa, with about 43% of the upper Junior forest. The second issue is water and air pollution. Liberia had faced extreme water pollution in their country as lot of garbage blocked drains and sewers, causing floods and stagnant water in which mosquito could breed. Estimate of just the most visible garbage piles across the city amounted to more than 70%. Brunei and New Zealand did not have the issue as their country has been managed their waste properly. But in New Zealand and Brunei, they are facing small issue in air pollution. Their air quality is still in good condition, but there are some activities that may give poor quality of air.
Okay, as a conclusion, what we can conclude in this presentation is that each state has its own background, culture, how the country was found, and many other countries. We also learned that good leaders can bring a lot of improvement to the country. This shows how well the leaders of the country manage and handles the country for better economic, political, social, health, and education to make the country a developed country. Overall, what we gain from this task is new experience, understanding, and knowledge of the countries we have selected. So that's all from us, and we sincerely appreciate for your attention and time. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask, and we will do the best to answer. Thank you.